As a performance level, I think we look 2 yards short on everything. We give the ball away too many times. It's now reflect here first. That's my job. I'm the leader of this team and how I set the team up. But I think too many individual poor performances, collectively poor. I think you can tell every single one of their players is starting every single week for their clubs. I have a problem that my players aren't. Some of them are out of season, which it showed, and not playing enough minutes for their clubs, so that needs to change. And that's going to be a strong message moving forward. Get playing, or you won't get picked, because we can't have that. If we wanted to try and build towards 2027, we need to be a hell of a lot better than we were tonight. The challenge for this team is how can we be better with the ball. I thought we had too many unforced errors and turnovers tonight that then led to their attacks. At no point, any part of the game plan was to cross it, and every time we got it in the final third, we crossed rather than connected and combined, which then ended up us defending our own goal. And a lack of commitment and desire, which is not this team. You know, losing duels, losing 50-50s, not getting up to the ball, not pressing. It's not good enough. I'm not gonna hide away from it. I don't think that's right. The players know that. I know that. Like I said, I'll look at me too and what we did in prep. But yeah, tonight was not good.
We're just going to hold because the volume is not working on Zoom. Go ahead.
Casey, I've asked
Jonathan Town from Philadelphia Fire. I've asked a number of coaches who played against the Bulls over the years this question, and I'll ask you. What does it say to you, the number of quality young players that they keep bringing through year after year, and now they have Claire Hutton? Obviously, it's a luxury for any national team, but what do you think it takes a program to get to that point where that can happen consistently the way the US does?
Population helps. I think Canada has very different challenges than the US, weather being one of them. You know, most of the East Coast completely shuts down for outside soccer for half the year. That doesn't really happen in the US. You have established youth leagues, youth programs, and had them for many years. You pay to play, which they do in Canada too. I think it's an elite sport in America. Parents invest a lot of money for their kids to go. You have a great college system that's been established for many, many years. And you also have a huge population. And you've had a successful team, so more girls play. We're not going to magic up the population. It's how we can make sure that we're really smart about our youth pathways, our scouting, working with our youth programs and our leagues across the provinces to keep producing young players. We brought a couple on tonight. But yeah, the US just keep churning them out. And it's like a factory, you know. So it must be a blessing to be the head coach and have that many players to pick from. But I'm Canada coach, and I'm really proud to be Canada coach. We've got a lot of work to do though.
Daisy, you mentioned building to the World Cup in 27 there. Where is the team right now? Like, what is your assessment of the Canada program as we sit? What is the pathway forward?
Well, tonight we were miles off. So it's almost the games we've had in prep to this haven't prepared us. They really haven't. This is the first top opponent we've played, and it shows where we're at. My message to the players is, first and foremost, we need to get fitter. Like, we weren't fit enough to even sustain anything tonight. So that showed a lot. We need to be better technically on the ball. Too many unforced errors and turnovers. If you're going to do that, you've got to be even fitter. So, yeah, we're obviously missing a few key players tonight as well, but so were they. They weren't at full strength. So we got now to October, and the message is, like, talk is cheap. We can keep talking about winning a World Cup, we can keep talking about what we're going to do, or we can actually put things into action. So I will go away and reflect on the game plan, the selection, the prep. The players need to go away and reflect on their own individual performances and what they need to do to be better come October.
Jason Anderson, USA Today. Thanks for speaking with us, Casey. I wanted to ask Jordan Huydam mentioned the first 2 goals coming on set pieces. She said it was very much not the norm for this team. What did you see in those moments? Was it just the fact that maybe you haven't had time to work on that aspect during this camp, or was it an execution problem?
No, we've worked on it. There's an execution and a desire part when it comes to set pieces, because you've got to be prepared to put your head where someone else wants to put their head. I think there's maybe an execution part. Maybe our positioning was just slightly off, especially for the one that we got done on the near post, which can't happen. But this team's been notoriously very, very good at defending set pieces. So we need to shift that mentality. We need to work harder. We need to get the details right, and we need desire. I ultimately thought they scored 2 goals because they had more desire than us in our box, which can't happen.
We're gonna go on Zoom. John, you can go ahead.
Thanks. Casey, there's now a 4-month off till the next international window, which is in October. Do you have a sense of what the next 4 months are going to look like for you? What will you be sort of focusing on, working on during the time off between the next sort of international window?
Well, yeah, with the players very limited because we don't have them. But it'll be about trying to get around to clubs. And this is the first opportunity really where I've had to do that and build some relationships with the clubs. It'll be about speaking to players about make sure they're playing. If they're not playing, then they need to change clubs. Very simple. I can't have the amount of players that we've got in our squad not playing significant minutes week in, week out. And obviously looking at our individuals, how we can support them more remotely, how we can get the game simplified for them and support them to come back in October in a better place physically, mentally and tactically.
We'll go to Neil.
Thank you. Casey Neil David from the Canadian Press. Some of the audio begin. A disappointing evening. Was tonight a reality check for the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's been too easy. I think we've played opponents that have been far lower ranked and we come against the #1 in the world and we fell short. So yeah, I think it's a reality check. I think it's a reality check for everybody. It is one game, but it's an opportunity to reset and we need to reset quickly. We need to get players in a physical condition to be able to perform at the highest level, and we definitely weren't there tonight. And it was tough conditions, it was warm, I get that, but it was safe for both teams and they looked a hell of a lot sharper than we did.
Okay, you will take one last question. Har, you can go ahead.
You mentioned the team needing to get fitter. You mentioned that there's not a camp until the end of October. You're not with them a lot. So how do they get into that mode knowing you're not going to be able to be with them for quite a while now?
Well, I think our Europeans will get back into pre-season, which will help. 3 out of our back 4 tonight, I think, aren't playing. So I think it's working with them, working with their clubs to make sure that when they're in, if they're not getting what they need, we do top-ups, we make sure that they're physically playing. It's the playing time piece as well. It's a big thing. It really is. We need more players playing significant minutes for their clubs. Every single player in the US is a starter for their clubs. That's not the same on ours. So I think that would be a big ask for me, is get playing. I understand their contracts and it's their livelihoods, but we need as many players playing minutes as possible. And it'll be about our performance staff working with their clubs to make sure that their programs are right. And it's about when they are in camp, we need to ramp the intensity up so the game doesn't seem such a shock when it comes around.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
Thank you.